his words. Say his words! What a wonderful day!
It's the Solar One Sci-fi podcast.
Hello, this is episode 194 of the Solar One Sci-fi podcast. I'm Michael Ball. After our longest ever break since we've been doing this podcast, it's nearly 5 years, I thought Martin told me to piss off basically, and no, he's back, and he's that impressed that he's actually just put his TV screen behind him as well on his on his Zoom. Hello, Martin. I've got a bad cough, by the way. As you can probably hear, it's very sort of delicate cough. Hello, Martin. How are you?
Hello, how are you? It's nice to see you. It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's the last time we did a show was, well, actually, I did one, not a proper one, but I did a review of Alien Romulus while we were in our break because I had to review that.
I saw that.
And then, of course, the last one I did was the Acolyte, which has all turned to Akashite, hasn't it?
Have you seen what's been going on?
It's all been going on. I mean, there's been all sort. I mean, apparently
Caught
now,
action by fan base taking certain YouTubers to court.
yeah, including I think Star Wars.
I'm not going to
Theories
mention the names, but apparently certain YouTubers with lots of subscribers have been accused of many things, and because the actress who played she made a video,
the twin, yeah.
And it's all kicked off, and somebody started a campaign on YouTube to get loads of YouTubers to take certain YouTubers of a certain persuasion to court because they've been causing stirring it up. I don't know the full thing, and there's some real big names involved there pushing back. YouTube got involved and stayed neutral, saying that people have the right to express their opinions.
Well, they do, though, don't they?
Well, they YouTube. Somebody, whoever started this whole movement, they actually wanted to force them off the air. Well,
they can't do that. The whole point of YouTube is
that's where I've got an issue with it because you might not like these so-called channels or you might not agree with them, but they have a right to say what they've got to say.
Yeah, and if you don't agree with them,
all about.
If you don't agree with them, just don't subscribe or
don't watch it.
Yeah,
but there's a load of people, and they've accused another big YouTuber of being behind it all. I'm not going to say, but you'll know. And it's like this big movement to get what's the word cancelled. But they thought about. I float around YouTube. I think these people that are attacking Acolyte or whatever, that's them. To be honest, you and I have discussed the Acolyte in great detail, and I'm going to say it live. The Acolyte were complete utter shit. I don't care, it was shit. And I'm going to tell you why.
Steady. They're going to come after you. They're going to come after you.
Well, I'm going to give them your address.
Oh, cheers, buddy.
You've ruined my moment of being a man there.
I know.
Going to get really YouTuber, and you thank you.
YouTuber.
Thank you.
Yeah,
no. On a serious note, the Acolyte was shit, right now, and it's not about anything about race or anything like that or the politics of it. I'm going to tell you why it was shit. Right.
Please do.
There were no character investment.
Mm-hmm.
There were no character investment. The storyline was absolute bollocks. Right. It was just terrible. And our board shitless. And when they tried the moment of, there were 3 times they tried to save it. The one where the apprentice Sith Lord slaughtered all the people that couldn't act for shit.
Yeah.
And none of them.
Who was that? That's all of them. Who specify which one?
Well, they move with Sith Lord, if the apprentice.
All right, actually, mate,
him with the really shit helmet.
Someone's just knocking. Actually, someone's just knocking on the door. Can you bear me a second? Sorry, mate.
What you're going to have to talk to?
No, hang on.
So it was just, there were no character development in it.
Okay, mate. Sorry, I'm right in the middle of it.
There were no, the acting was terrible. Her with the green bald head couldn't act
Right, I'm
for
back.
shit.
I'm back. Hang on. Right. Sorry about that. My son forgot.
All right.
He forgot his front door key.
Her with the green bald head could not act for shit.
Oh, she was horrible.
And then what did they try and do? At the end, we got 2 cheap shots. We got Darth Plagueis
and
for
Yoda.
5 seconds in a cave.
Yeah.
And fucking Yoda at the end. And I sat through, how many episodes were it? 8 or 6?
I think it was 8. I think it was 8.
And we watched that every week. We went into that with some kind of expectation. Think this could be good. And how did it finish? One girl that was good turned evil, and the other one that were evil turned good and got a memory wiped. And
which made it whole pointless. Made the whole experience very pointless.
They all think we're fucking pointless from episode 1 to episode 6. And that is why The Acolyte was shit. It was, and I won't be buying it. I wasted 8 hours of my life on that. I'll never get back. And that's it. Now, this old YouTube argument thing, what's going on, that I don't care about it. I'm not interested in it one bit. But I do support, I believe that people have the right to express their opinion. You might not agree with it. No, they've got a right.
Entitled to the opinion.
You know, and I also believe if you're going to say stuff, then you've got to take responsibility for it, which is fair enough. And, you know, it can all kick off. But I'm attacking The Acolyte because it was a terrible production. And when you told me that cost
$180 million.
And
$180 million.
You were in a studio. When they had that jungle, it looked like a studio. You knew.
Yeah, of course it did. Yeah. Or a volume or something. You know,
I put the floor over to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, the interesting thing is now that I've heard that Disney have really, I've heard all sorts of rumors. First of all, they were going to do a lot of merchandising stuff. That's all been pulled. I've also heard that it's so loathed by the majority of people now that, do you remember Willow? They made a version of Willow and it was pulled from Disney Plus. And they've actually been talking about.
Did you see that?
No, I never watched the original. I never watched. I was never a big fan of Willow.
No,
it's more fantasy. But what I was going to say is that they are suggesting that it's possible. I don't think it will happen. Actually, is that they could actually take The Acolyte off Disney Plus, off its Star Wars content. It's that damaging. And also, apparently they're going to really step back now on their live action content per year. On most years, in recent years, they've been making
a year.
Yeah, but it's going to go down to 1. So what we're going to have is we've got Skeleton Crew this year, and then I reckon we'll get the Andor season 2 in the middle of next year, maybe even autumn next year.
No, we're getting Ahsoka next year.
No, well, no, because they're not even started filming it yet. And it's going to take at least a year to film it. It won't be there until 2026. 100%.
Wow.
Yeah. So what we're going to probably have is we're going to have...
but like, if they're going to make you wait 2 to 3 years for a sequel, so what's the point?
I know, that's the way this is these days.
People, by that time, we've probably moved on.
I heard that Ahsoka season 2 is going to be filmed in the summer next year. In the summer next year. So it's not going to come out until at least summer 2026. So next year we're not going to have a lot to talk about, really, are we?
Well, this is why Disney.
And then maybe I'll finally get a chance to watch Blake 7. There we are. If Malcolm's listening, I will do the bloody Blake 7. No, look, I do like Blake 7. I know it's just one of those series. I mean, I watched an episode of Space 1999, the Dragon. I said Dragon something.
I love that Dragon's Domain.
Yeah, I know. I
that episode.
I fucking loved it. It was really good.
You know, when I saw that as a kid, it still gives me creeps.
I love Space 1999. I think it's great.
And
I really like that.
Terrifying.
I really like that series. I think it's awesome.
You see what it does to bodies when it spits
sort of
them
absorbs
out.
them, and sort of like it,
and then just fires the bones out. It's a fantastic episode.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, it was really good.
Even today, it still freaks me out.
Oh no, it's good, especially if you watch the Blu-ray where it's been it's HD. The sound stereo's remixed. Sounds great.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great. I wish they could have done. I'd love to see a remake of that. Space 2099 or something. That'd be cool. We have talked about this before, but I'd love to see.
Well, there were rumours that were going to be done. I want UFO rumours.
Yeah, or The Invaders. I know you'd love to see a remake of that.
Yeah,
But they always fail. Look at Quantum Leap. I mean, that Quantum Leap was shite, that remake. It was crap. Well, it was actually a sequel. But
I dropped out of that.
I watched about 8 episodes and I gave up on it. I just couldn't get
I think I got to first season end of it.
I think I was near the end of it.
I'm not bothered.
No, I can't be bothered with that. No.
I just couldn't bother with it. I know it's the show's final episode.
Yeah,
I don't think he gets back. I don't know.
I'm not bothered, actually. I couldn't give a shit about this character. He's not like Sam Beckett, is he?
No.
But I mean, other shows. I mean, I've watched Silo, which we talked about before. I love that. I want to review that. Fallout.
I wish I had sat through all that instead of watching the recap thing.
Instead of what?
Oh, the recap thing is where somebody.
Oh yeah. Well, no. I mean, I want to watch the whole thing properly. But Fallout. I've got one more episode to do, and I want to review that when you've seen it because I think that's really good.
Can I? What do you think to it so far?
Well, it's near the end. I think it's really quite good. I like it. I like the idea. I like these different silos. It's 33, 32, and now it's 31. Yeah. And then they discovered silo 4. And then you've got these ghouls, these characters that kind of like they're sustained. Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's right up my alley. I think that the actress Ella something who plays Lucy, she's very cute, by the way. I like her a lot. And the guy that has the mech sort of like thing that he's taken for somebody else, and it's very solid. It's really good. It's based on a video game. I'm not a video gamer myself, but I think on its own it works very. I love the idea that it's from a 50s perspective, like nuclear,
yes, I love that.
And so all the wreckage is 50s cars. It's cool. It's great. I love it.
It's like a weird alternative 50s with futuristic.
Yeah, and there was another one. There was another sort of 50s thing that Apple made as well a couple of years ago, and it was based in the 50s, and it was something going to the moon, selling. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. And that was all right, but this is better. This is I like it. It's very clever. So
best thing made this year that has been so.
Yeah, do you want to review it next week?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I loved it. Yeah.
Right, that's it.
Where's Malcolm? I thought, where is it?
To be honest with you, I mentioned to Malcolm that we're back, so he'll probably see this come along and say, "Why wasn't I invited?" I said, "Malcolm, I'm really sorry, mate. I was thinking about it, but we weren't quite sure. We suddenly decided to do it today, but I'm sure he can let us know his availability in September, and hopefully we can do something soon. And it'd be great if he came along to review Fallout as well."
By the way, all the people watching about the acolyte, please go to his house, not mine.
About what?
The acolyte people.
Oh, you mean the lesbian space witches? The lesbian space witches.
Him in the next box.
I'm a duck. I'm going to go there. Look, that's it. Just the TARDISes are flying there. I'm not there. Look, maybe on Doctor Who. Oh, don't mention Doctor Who. God. Oh, Doctor Who might have a very long break now because it's all turned to shit.
There's dropped it, haven't there?
Well, no, Disney are getting cold feet, I think. Well, they're not going to commit to a third series until at least the second one has been shown, which means that the second one's not going to be shown until next year, next spring, summer, which means if they are still okay, then it means that there won't be any production done, which means there we're going to be a big gap. So we're going to get Doctor Who.
Again, this is where it's all going.
There'll be no Christmas special next year. There'll be no Christmas special next year, 2025, which means, and it'll take another year. So we're good. I want it to finish. I'm sorry. Finish. Bye-bye. Okay. 20 years back is great. The last few years you fucked up. Okay, you did, but there we go. Okay, bye-bye. Come back in 2040 or something with a brand new. Hopefully a lot of this bullshit that we're all suffering will be a bit blown over by then, and we can actually
anything new coming up.
Anything new coming up? Skeleton Crew, which I want to check out, which is like a Goonies.
Yeah, I'll check that out. Yeah.
Yep, that's the only thing I can think of the rest of this year. Unless there's anything
you can think season 4 coming.
Oh, it's not been confirmed, but it's looking better.
But
again, that's something which will have to be made. It's not been made yet. If it is actually, it's just we're talking about green lighting it, not actually making it yet. So there's going to be a big. So next year we'll have Okay, they got the new.
2026 you're looking at, isn't it, really?
They're going back the what's that animated Star Trek series which I really think's overrated, the comedy one. Star
So
Trek.
there's nothing coming up over Christmas, anything?
Well, no,
big,
like I
or-
said, they got this not Star Trek Prodigy, Star Trek Lower Decks. I think that's coming back this week, very soon. Last season, I don't remember hardly any of the episodes. It just doesn't work for me. I'm sorry. And then of course we've got Strange New Worlds, which will be probably out next spring, summer, 10 episodes. But then they're filming season 4 next year, so it'll be a year's gap. So we'll have what else have we got?
Well,
Yeah,
we're on this way through. Anything else? Anything for Christmas? Anything big?
well, this is a Doctor Who Christmas special.
Is that Netflix thing where they were in 3 parts? I forgot what it called. Where they made 2 movies.
What's that?
I forgot what it's called. Netflix did that director guy who did Batman Superman.
Oh yeah.
He did 2 space movies on Netflix, big budgets. Meant to be part 3.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that is.
Forgot what it's called. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
Does not ring any bells. Have you seen
I'll
first?
find the name in the next star.
And is it something you've seen and you recommend?
No, not really.
You put my hopes up then. I thought, oh yeah. No, not really. It's right, really.
So there's nothing big on the way then. Nothing.
Film wise, don't forget you've got the new Alien TV series
Is that this year?
next year, I think. So, but that's gonna get.
There's nothing on the radar then. Nothing coming down the line this year.
No, well, it's already September. It's only 4 more months to go. So, Skeleton Crew and Doctor Who Christmas Special are the only things I can think of. And God knows what this. Well, not Russ. Stephen Moffat's writing it, which is at least a better thing. So I like his writing.
Well, they've still got us.
Yeah, but they haven't. They've lost me now. Do you know what? I've always made Doctor Who DVD covers and everything like that for years. So, my huge collection. Oh,
Yeah.
This year. I'm not going to have to stop now. I thought I said it. I don't want to add anymore.
No, I don't want the lost service. Don't want it.
No, I don't like it.
Don't want it.
Now, we're going to go into our break now. But before we come, when we come back, before we go into our focus of the week, we unfortunately we've had
I don't mind. I did mind. See, but I don't want to.
What, Doctor Who?
I don't want lost service.
No. All right, Martin. Well, I'm going to fade out, and we're going to be back in a second because we've got some sad news before our focus. So we'll be right back.
Yes, we have. Yes.
1 second. Okay.
Oh, okay. So we're back. So before we go to our focus of the week, we do have some rather bad news about a good supporter of this podcast who we've known for many a year, and he's done some great stuff, and he's even appeared on one of our episodes. So, Martin, do you want to sort of like tell what's happening?
I think it's appeared on 2 or 3.
He's actually appeared on 1, the 100th episode. He meant to come back. He only appeared on 1.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh no, he appeared on a couple of mine.
Okay.
Yeah. I did a panel. He was on that. But
So
no, Trexpan, he followed me from day one.
So we're talking about Robert
there.
Johnson. We're talking about Robert Johnson, and unfortunately, he actually passed away the week before last.
I was very upset about that,
I was very surprised because he often put on messages about how his treatment's going in hospital and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was sad because literally the day before he passed on, he put a thumbs up because I was on holiday with my family in Gran Canaria, and it was just, he's always very supportive. And then the next day on his Facebook page, it said that he had actually passed away, and it's always a shock when people even though I'd only done 1 show with him, it still hits you hard. And he was biggest Star Trek fan you could imagine, and it was always what I liked about Robert, not just for us, but he really respected people who liked Star Trek. It meant so much to him, and every week he would put like, "Oh, you need to follow these guys. Check out their latest podcast." He was really, really kind, really supportive, and I just wish that we'd had more of a chance to have some more episodes, shows with him. Really, it didn't happen
through various reasons. I mean, obviously there's a time issue because he's in America and we're in the UK, which is always a pain. But it was actually, I did post on his page that, we were honored to have him for episode 100 when we had Vic Mignogna from Star Trek Continues and
he loved
Tom
that.
Julian. And I think he was really, really loved that. So I just wanted to say that thank you to for the memory of him and his support. And basically, he'll be greatly missed by us on the show.
For me, when I used to go on like other sites and that, he got the podcast and he always shared it.
Yes, he did.
He was always on X or Twitter and TikTok. He was on Instagram, and he said same thing. Please subscribe to these guys
every week. Yeah, every week.
Every week. The minute we put this out, within 5 minutes, he shared it to every other platform.
Yeah, he did. It was really kind.
He always said, "Please subscribe to these guys."
Always stuck by us. Always stuck by us.
All the time. I had him on a couple of panels.
What did you talk with him on your panels? What? Obviously, it's Star Trek, I assume, was it?
It was Star Trek stuff. He started watching me from my first video.
Okay.
He just connected. But he used to always leave comments. He speak to him, and then over time he started popping up like live,
Yeah.
But I really got to know him over the Vic Mignogna thing.
Yeah.
And he was on a panel with me as well. And he was a lovely guy. He had a great sense of humor, but his passion for Star Trek.
Absolutely. It was so important to him, like it is to us as well.
But we always mentioned him on the podcast as well. We
often said Trek Fan 68, which is his actual sort of like
all the time
online name. Yeah, we often mentioned him, didn't we?
But when I went on TikTok or anywhere, he shared it even before I put it up.
Yeah.
And he said, "Please subscribe to these guys." It's just that for me meant a great deal, and I'm gonna miss out. When I read it on Facebook, I was so upset.
I was abroad and I was floored. I just said to my family, "Oh my God, this great guy."
I didn't believe it.
Yeah, it was because sometimes you get more of an idea that things aren't going so well, but as he was literally posting and liking something from me the day before, something obviously it must have happened, escalated very, very fast.
Yeah, so I'd like to dedicate this show to Robert.
I completely 100% agree.
I really would like to do, because he was a friend of the podcast. He followed both our YouTube channels, and he was an amazing guy. And my heart goes out to his family.
And actually, at the end of this episode, this podcast, I will put an in memory of him, if that's okay with you, Martin.
Yes,
I think that would be fitting, just a small tribute to the great man. So rest in peace, Robert. You'll always be thought of in such a fond way from us, and I don't know what else to say really, but
no, I don't.
No,
okay. And we miss you. You've been listening to this week.
Yeah, I know he would have done. And don't forget, we've been on this for nearly 5 years, and he's been with us ever since the beginning. So it's going to be quite a void. I think I'm going to miss those sort of like messages saying, "Oh, you should check out this episode" and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
As you and I both
all
know.
The time. Every time I went to share it or put it up, he'd beat me to it.
Yeah,
and I'll never forget that. That meant a great deal to me.
Yeah, it's such a shame. All right, Martin. On that note, I think let's turn things around a bit, because obviously it's there's not much more to say, but
no.
Let's go into our Solar One Sci-Fi Focus of the Week. Here we go.
It's the Solar Sci-Fi Focus of the Week.
All right, let's sort of change things up a bit, because obviously, it's always hard to sort of come out of that kind of aspect of the show into a different sort of like a vibe for the review. But we will. We're going to talk about a film which we both saw. It's this year. You saw it before me, Martin, and you liked it. And eventually, I saw it when it was released on digital, and I liked it too. And of course, it was Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. which I was surprised it actually made because the three previous films were like a trilogy, and Caesar, was it Caesar? It was, isn't it? Caesar died at the end of the third one, and
It was set. They jumped 300 years into the future.
so so the fourth one had this strange thing where they jumped I think it's 200 years into the future, past there, and it was an interesting aspect of sort of the descendants of Caesar, and there's intelligent chimps and everything, and there was his rival apes. Sort of, there was kind of a territorial thing, wasn't it? They had this sort of community in the trees, and then it was burnt down. And I mean, what do you give your analysis of the film? What do you think of the actual storyline and how it all went?
Well, with the three original movies, we got the first chapter of the book.
Right.
If you put it that way, the fall of the human race and now humanity's going into decline.
Yes.
We got that all finished. So that finished where they found that valley with the lake.
Yes.
That's where that's it. You could have left it at that, and then this came from that. I know. I didn't even know it was being made.
Yeah, you were really surprised. I remember we did a show.
I've
heard about this new movie. I thought, okay, and like, I don't know, it just suddenly was there, wasn't it? It just suddenly like was coming in about 3 months or something, and we thought, oh, okay, well, how's this suddenly come about? So it was just suddenly materialised. It was very strange.
Well, that's what I thought. I thought it'd be done. I thought they'd done the fall of mankind.
And that was. But I love the way that this film started to link towards the original movies. Like there were some scenes, like you saw, like
it's the parallel timeline, yeah.
And you saw like the scarecrows kind of thing, like you saw in the original movies. I love that. And of course, there was also some intelligent humans. Most of them mutes and everything, but there was this sub sort of thing with a one.
Just on the original movie, I bought. I've got these 2 books, filling the plot holes, but also some graphic novels were released. But it was set over the 2,500 years of history of them rising, or what happens over that timeline to get where they are.
Okay.
And the underdwellers, there's a faction of them that break off, start manipulating events in the background, certain events, and even though they pay a price for it, but they start manipulating certain things, which are found that they explain why the moon's not there, because they destroyed the moon. It was them that destroyed the moon. This faction.
Oh, really?
There's another Alpha Omega bomb.
Oh, okay.
And these apes find it somewhere set 100 years before, or they find this like installation. They don't understand it, the apes. And this underdweller turns up, and he's got an illusion that he's an ape, and he kills them all.
Okay.
And he launches the missile, and the moon destroys the moon.
Oh, it destroys the moon. But wouldn't that?
Yeah, they're a rogue faction.
But if the moon was destroyed, the Earth would be really messed up, though, wouldn't it?
Well, that's what I thought, but they did it, and that's it. You also jump into origins of the Alpha Omega, and I loved all that because it's creating this back history of all that craziness. In the new film, with the last 3, they completed the block. But right. With this new film, and where I'm coming in, like you just said, with the originals, they've just opened the big doors have opened to the universe now. The door has opened because they've already put in the things that are needed in this film. Everything's set up for the next 1,000 years now. And so, I think we're going to be jumping ahead.
That's my next question. You think it's going to be big jumps now in the next few years?
Yeah, I do. Because what I liked about it, when Caesar died, and something happened with the apes, they broke off into a tribal grouping.
Yeah, it's a split off.
Which makes sense. They would do. The chimps were the chimps. But then he met that orangutan, who's obviously going to be a big point. He was a follower of Caesar. and he knew of the human race. Oh, they called us echoes.
And they had that symbol, didn't they? The Caesar symbol,
Yeah.
that almost like a religious,
Yeah.
like a god, like a god.
And there is advanced humans out there. There's quite a lot of them actually spread out around the world. And that ape who's trying to build an empire by bringing them all together, didn't even have guns. They had a human doing the cattle prod things for them.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was starting it off from books and knowledge. And I forgot what the chimp's called. He's going to play a big bringing ape culture together. He's the focus point, him and the orangutan.
Yeah.
The orangutan is not dead, he's alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's going to be a war, but it's not going to happen in second film. We're going there. This is going to be about him creating a civilization.
Are we going to, do you think,
reclaiming the history?
do you think we're going to see the Alpha Omega bomb worshippers at some point?
I think we're not going to get them for quite a while yet. I think they're going down the path in the. Do you remember the final movie where the underdwellers attacked the apes?
Yes, it was.
I think we're gonna go into that sort of territory.
But this is a parallel universe, right? This is not.
Yeah, it's another timeline broken off from the. That's how I explain it.
Yeah, because it's two different. You can't see the very last scene of if they make a third one set like another 1,000 years where a Charlton Heston character comes from the past and then starts. It's like
that character. It will not turn up in the next film.
No.
I'm
just wondering.
That character's going to play the key. What's interesting about this is that the apes. Forgot what the chimp's called, but. He's going to be the focus with the orangutan on building an ape civilization.
Yeah.
And then the humans obviously activated the satellite network to communicate with the others around the world. They're going to make a move. The apes will end up winning, then there'll be a break off of two civilizations.
Yeah, I can see
We're
that.
going to get a forbidden zone. And probably a nuclear, but something's going to happen. But we're building to this now. And the astronaut who's going to come back will not be coming back until the third movie.
But you think it will happen in the last movie, whenever that is?
It will either happen at the end of the last movie. I can't say, because this is about building the ape civilization. Because what Caesar brought together has now broken apart. And a lot of them don't even know who Caesar is.
No, he's more of a like mythical sort of figure, isn't he?
So the orangutans are some kind of sacred order that follow the teachings of Caesar.
Yeah.
He had that thing, and he wore Noah. That was his name, Noah.
Noah, that's it.
He wore the thing, and he knows the truth about humanity, and he says my eyes have been woken to a bigger thing. And she told him, it's like when they destroyed that bunker with all that technology in. She said, it's not yours, you've got no right to it.
Yeah.
But they have a right to it because we lost it through our own arrogance.
Finders keepers, isn't it? Losers weepers.
We destroyed ourselves. It's not it's going to be about them becoming the civilization we think they're going to become. Now, I don't know what they're going to do. I think with today, we're not going to get the original society. They're going to go with the book.
How are they depicted in the book then?
We're going to get a 21st century ape society with technology. And
I mean, do you like that way, or would you rather it be more like the apes were depicted in the original movies, where they were sort of out of a village, and it was a bit basic.
In the original movies, there's a 5-minute clip where they tested. They couldn't afford to do it. They had a vision that it was going to be set in today's world.
But run by apes.
Taylor crashes. I've read the graphic notes of the script. It's quite interesting. The astronaut's got another name, but that when the astronaut comes back, I think the apes will be quite advanced. I don't know if they'll be like us, but they'll be they'll have cars and their equivalent.
Okay. Well, that'd
And
be
I
certainly
think
interesting to
that's
see.
what they're going to go down. And
Yeah, I can see that.
humans will be in Zeus, and he'll come back and be
So
a
what you're
threat.
saying is, rather than being a primitive village, it'll be a more like a sort of slightly more primitive city with cars and electrics and everything.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
humans will be in proper zoos, but it will be its own take on it. I can see that.
yeah, and possibly a secret civilization of underdwellers
I
and
would
some
love
of.
to. I'd like that third element to come about at some point.
But I don't. I've heard what I'll read. There's 9 films. That's what they're planning.
Well, that's a bit of a risk. 9 films is quite a lot to commit to,
Well,
isn't it?
it's like we've had the first. It's like Star Wars, isn't it? We've had the first chapter, and we're now moving into the second chapter. This is all of the next 2 films is about him bringing ape cult. There's going to be a war between the advanced humans, which they will lose against the apes. The apes will get the technology, they'll get the guns and the whatever, and then from that will come this crazy ape society where they're like blessed, all that.
I would love to
Remember
see all
the
that.
religion that they were chosen and humans. What's that? Don't trust the beast called man and all that. They'll
Beware
go
the
down.
beast called man, but he's the devil's born.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'll come. And then in the third part of him building the empire up or the rise of the apes or whatever, I think in the 3 movies after that will be set 1,000 years on. The astronauts will come then. If
And
they
that's
bring them
how-
in now, it's too early. Because in the original scripts for the original film, sequel was going to be that Taylor has a child and he finds humans at the other side of Forbidden Zone in the jungle and he teaches them and he attacks the apes and steals their weapons. And there's a big war and we win. And Zeus is in a zoo and they're all
at the end he
grown.
gets his comeuppance. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, that was what we planned, but the drops hit when what we saw on the organ, because
I still love that film. I still love it.
Even today it freaks me out. That.
It's such
I
a good
think
one.
you take a bit from this, and I think
Like I
the
said,
rise of the apes now.
I keep going back to it, but because Beneath the Planet of the Apes was so good, I think it's as in quality to the first, especially the last half an hour. I'd like some of that element to be used in these alternate.
Yeah, I
universe.
think that's where they're going because they open the doors to it. The first 3 films is about them becoming intelligent
humans starting to taking over.
Yeah. And even that in the last film, the general dude, he said you're superior to us.
Yeah.
He said you're physically stronger than what we are, and you have our intelligence. That makes you dangerous. And they're gonna create a religion of that there. The whole,
the Overseer, wasn't it? The Overseer was the original one.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh, what did I know you're on about. The lawgiver.
The lawgiver.
The lawgiver is good. That's sort of thank you. The lawgiver is going to appear in the second or third movie.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Because when we saw the orangutan, it's all there. If you start looking in bits of it, you see, like you just said, the original bits of it is
all the best bits of me interpreting it is interesting.
Yeah.
I also find
but if they get it right.
I find it interesting also their depiction of religion, because of course I find that fascinating. I mean, religion in science fiction has not always worked. I think one of the best examples of that is Bajoran faith in the prophets from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I thought that was fascinating that they would give anything for the prophets because they were their gods. That's interesting. So the idea of an ape civilization and creating the lawgiver and how that would be a powerful force, and because religion's a very, very powerful tool in controlling people, making them think a certain way. And sometimes it works for good, sometimes it doesn't always work. You get some, fanatical sects of religion in all sorts of different faiths, and some of it can be good, some of it can be bad, some of it can be toxic. So the idea of using something like that in the Planet of the Apes movies, I think, would be very interesting. especially
Yeah,
in relation to
this is what I want them to go down, because originally the lawgiver wasn't portrayed like that. The
Oh, okay.
lawgiver believed in a society where both races can live in peace.
Yeah, yeah.
But that, because when you get to the end of number 5, the actor John Huston, who plays the lawgiver,
Yeah.
he's speaking to the apes and humans about living in peace and living with nature, and creating a better world together. Because but then the orangutans over thousand twisted the religion.
Yeah.
And the lawgiver, beware the beast called man, and all that got twisted so badly that apes think they're like the chosen, we're the beasts, and they're going to go down that path, and I really want them to go down. And then when the astronaut comes back, whoever it is, he's gonna knock that whole house of cards down, because the apes haven't created anything. They've took from us.
They are, yeah, the scavengers.
But twisted it.
Yeah.
That's the hypocrisy of Planet.
But that was the original movies are the same. The original movies, they scavenge of us, and they then but they were fearful of ancient humanity. They were fearful of
the orangutans were, yeah.
Yeah, but the gorillas didn't really pick up on it. It was the gorillas were they were clever enough to think, hang on, this is something a bit dodgy about this, and this is like, how can they do that? We can't do that. Fascinating stuff. Fascinating. So I suppose it's time to wrap things up. How would you rate this out of 10?
I'm going to be sad, because I haven't seen you for a while. I'm glad to see you again, and I'm enjoying this.
Thank you.
I'm going to give it a 10.
A 10?
Yeah.
I can't give it a 10 because I do you know why? Only because
okay, go on, why?
Because it might get pulled down by the 2 sequels. I don't know. I think if it was a standalone, it'd be higher. I'm going to give it at the moment a 8. 8.
I understand that. I was so impressed. For me, it was about how I saw the potential of where all could go.
But I've seen so many things where you get the potential and then it all turns to shit. I'm not saying it will because they've actually.
You're right.
But no, I mean they've done these guys making these Planet of the Apes films. The first 4, they've all been good.
Yeah, they have.
They haven't done a dud yet.
No,
but if they get their version of Ryan Johnson though for the 5th film and like
no,
or Leslie Headland does episode 6 or whatever, like the Akka Ape.
No. No.
Can you imagine if she did that episode? Imagine what episode 6 would be like with the. No, I'm not going to even go there. It's bad to think about.
Put her from Star Wars in charge of it all.
Oh, Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
Or
Disney own Planet of the Apes now. Disney own it.
Yeah. I did. I thought who does it?
Yeah, it's in there. It's a bit scary, isn't it? It's in there.
I just like that the first 4 they've not been woke. They've just been good stories, and it's not the message. It's just entertainment. I think they've all been well regarded, haven't they?
But I've got some good news for you.
Okay.
There's 4 television Planet of the Apes movies out online.
4 movies. What's this then?
Re-edited 2 episodes turned into a movie from the original TV series.
Oh,
with Galen talking at the beginning.
Oh wow! Okay.
It's set 20 years on, and he talks about the past. Of edited 2 movies into a film. There's 4 films, and in the final film, Galen says Burden and Bert get back. He said to find the computer, get home.
Yeah, she get home. Okay.
And it got leaked the other day. All 4 movies are somewhere out there online now. Not been seen in 30 years.
Also, maybe we can. Okay, maybe.
I can get these names for these films. They're out there. I don't know where, but they're there because everybody's been screaming about them.
Okay.
But what it is Galen's at the beginning, introduction, 5 minutes long, and he pops up at the end as well.
So what? This was filmed but lost? Is that what you're saying, or just?
No, yeah. They made them for TV. They made them for TV.
But why were they put in a vault then? Why were they shut away?
I don't know, but I read an article of the day that they've been moved to some streaming channel and they've been cleaned up and they're there. So I assume all four of them, well, they could be out there, all
Okay.
four. But what's interesting, Galen's at the beginning of each film,
Wow.
and he tells you Verdon and Burt get back.
Okay. Well,
Take that clip.
well, I'd like to check
I
that
mean,
out.
if they magically appear, I
Oh, don't go there. It might do. You never know. We live in a futuristic world. I mean, I was looking at this thing the other day about this robot that's being developed where it's 5'4", and they're going to be starting to bring them out next year, and they're in you walk around your house and they can like pick up your laundry and they can sort of like do stuff for you, and it's all getting it's just, and it reminded me of iRobot. It had the same vibe
it's
to it.
beginning, isn't it?
It's getting very scary out there. It's getting very high tech now.
Fucking Skynet, they're going to invent it. You know they are.
Well,
Look, it can think for itself.
yeah, let's give it all our nuclear codes and everything. It's like, I don't know, but it is, even in the 5 years since we've been doing this, the world has changed quite a lot, actually. You know, and it's
God, yeah.
I don't know.
I was going to buy a robot vacuum cleaner. No, well, I'm going to buy one, and then I got a bit of stick for it, and I didn't bother. And
I know, but you can't beat that, can you? A robot vacuum cleaner.
I hate that.
I think vacuum cleaning is the worst thing, apart from washing up, that you can do.
Ironing's the worst.
I don't want ironing so much because I can watch TV.
I got to try cleaning with.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, listen, Martin, thank you much. It's been great to catch up with you. It's been good. It's been good. So
if they bring out an ironing robot,
I am robot.
Yeah,
robot.
I mean, they bring all this out, all this like robot, and we'd have to do. What the fuck are we meant to do?
Yeah, but this is the thing. In the future, you won't need to drive. You won't need to do any chores. You won't be. Yeah, but the thing is, we'll be fighting. We'll be fighting over work, though. We'll be fighting over work because, things will be. Art will be created by AI. Books can be created by AI. I know it's not quite there yet, but it's all getting there.
It will be. It will be.
Because it's learning. It's not going to stay the same. It's going to increase.
It's going to evolve.
It's very, very worrying. I think it's very, very scary.
But what we as human creatures, we need.
Well, we can sit at home and watch Ant and Dec all day, can't we?
No. I apologize. I apologize for all the things I've ever said to you. Right, I take back that film Ant and Dec made. You don't have to watch it.
Oh, fuck that!
Mention that film again, but please.
I forgot about that.
Even I cannot take sat in a room with a robot having a force. Everybody wants to rumble all day long.
Well, we live in interesting times, sir.
We do, my friend. We do. Yeah.
Well, listen, Martin. Thanks very much for today. It's been a good one.
Yeah.
It's nice to. Because you get rusty after a while. We haven't done this for about 5 weeks, but it's been good. So if you haven't seen the new Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, check it out. Next week, then hopefully Malcolm will be around soon, so we'll have to check with him, see what he's doing.
I'll have to do Monday, mate. Monday.
You can or can't?
I can do Monday, yeah.
Right. So obviously this is a bit of background that we record on Mondays normally. So we'll be recording for this, and this will be released on Thursday, obviously next week.
Yeah.
And it'll be Fallout, which I'm really enjoying. I need to see the last part today or tomorrow, and then we'll have a good debate about that. I've only just seen it, so it's fresh in my mind. So, Martin, thank you very much. We'll see you next week on the Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast. Live long and prosper.
Brilliant. Live long and prosper.